Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before we dive in, if you are not subscribed yet, hit that subscribe button right now and turn on the bell notification, because we cover BTS content like this all the time and you do not want to miss a single video. Drop a like before you even finish watching. Trust me, by the end of this, you'll absolutely want to. And if you have a friend who is ARMY, share this video with them right now, because they need to see this. Okay. Let's go. Picture this. It is Monday, March 23, 2026. The temperature in New York City has dropped into the 40s Fahrenheit. There is light rain falling. There is fog rolling in from the East River. And yet, after ARMY learned about the show's location earlier in the day, many of them queued up outside the venue for hours hoping to snag a spot close to the stage TikTok, braving every single drop of rain, every gust of cold wind, with their ARMY bombs already in hand. Why? Because something was happening at Pier 17 in Manhattan's South Street Seaport that night that no ARMY on this planet was willing to miss. BTS, all 7 of them, together, were back on American soil for the first time in 4 years. And what happened inside that venue during their QnA session? Nobody was ready. But before we get to the moments that made the internet completely lose its mind, and trust me, we are going to go through every single one of them, let's set the scene properly, because the context makes everything so much more emotional. BTS's comeback is officially underway. The K-pop stars released their album Erarang on March 20th, then on March 23rd kicked off their new era in the United States with Spotify x BTS, Swimside, an invitation-only live performance and Q&A event for a group of their most dedicated New York fans. The event marked the K-pop group's first time performing in America since April 2022, following the band's Permission to Dance, Las Vegas concerts. Sumpy 4 years. 4 years of military service, of waiting, of streaming old concerts at 2 a.m. just to feel close to them. And now here they were, standing on a rooftop in New York City, 7 members, together again. The immersive experience celebrated the release of BTS's highly anticipated comeback album, Erarang. The event was exclusive for 1,000 of BTS's loyal listeners, complete with immersive album-themed experiences and a special performance and Q&A session. Blogger fans received exclusive BTS-branded merch upon entry into the venue, which included a Spotify x BTS, Swimside branded cap and stickers that read, "Keep Swimming," and "Just Wanna Dive." Each fan was also able to keep their sweet and savory tooth satisfied with gochujang caramel cookies, white chocolate matcha cookies, and popcorn. SBS star and inside that crowd, people were already crying before the night had even properly begun. One fan told the press, "I have been ARMY for over 10 years now and so, for me, for them to come back as 7 and put out an album that means so much to them, it's very meaningful to me." And honestly, same. Now here is your first hook moment. Stay with me. The Q&A was moderated by singer and actress Suki Waterhouse, and it started beautifully and emotionally. RM said, "It's really an honor for us to do our first stage in America here. Thanks to Spotify for giving us this chance. And thank you for being together again with us." Twitter. And when asked what message they wanted to leave for ARMY through this album, RM gave an answer that stopped every single person in that venue cold. He said, simply, "First is that we are here, second is that we are here together." 7 words. That's all it took. 7 words that carried the weight of 4 years of separation, military service, solo careers, distance, and the one thing ARMY held on to through all of it, the promise that BTS would come back whole. And they did. Jimin spoke about what "Swim," the album's lead single, means to the group. He said through a translator, "It's about not stopping, even when you're facing tough times and emotional waves, to just keep moving forward like you're swimming through it all." SBS star. And if you know what these 7 men went through over the past few years, the uncertainty, the goodbyes, the waiting, those words hit completely differently. This was not just an album. This was a statement. We went through the waves. We kept swimming. And we made it back. But here is where the night shifted gears completely. Because after all the heartfelt, beautiful moments, the Q&A took a turn that sent the entire crowd into absolute chaos. And this is the part you've been waiting for. In the second half of the Q&A, BTS played a game called Alien vs Normal, referencing 2 tracks from their Arirang album. The concept was simple. The host would ask a question, and the members had to decide whether their answer was normal behavior or alien behavior. What followed was pure, unfiltered BTS, the kind of content that reminds you exactly why this group has captured the hearts of hundreds of millions of people around the world for over a decade. First to send the crowd spiraling? Suga. One of the night's standout moments came when Suga humorously confessed his complicated relationship with water. "I hate swimming," he deadpanned, prompting RM's shocked reaction. "You hate swim?" Suga quickly backtracked, laughing and saying, wait, no. I love swim. I just don't like water." Do you understand how perfect that is? The man just helped make one of the biggest K-pop albums in history, an album whose title track is literally called Swim, and he sat there in front of 1,000 fans and Spotify cameras and admitted he hates water. The crowd went absolutely feral. And fans on social media immediately started screaming that Suga was never beating the cat allegations, because only a cat would hate water that much. The internet was already in ruins, and we hadn't even gotten to the main event yet. And then, a question was asked: is it alien versus normal to change your clothes once you get home? And Jimin opened his mouth. Jimin replied, "Typically when I get home, I'm naked," which caused the crowd to start shouting. Twitter just like that. Completely calm. Completely unbothered. As if he had just said, "I usually have a glass of water." The crowd did not just shout, they erupted. People were screaming. People were grabbing each other. People were questioning every single decision they had ever made that led them to not be in that venue on that night. And it didn't stop there. RM immediately joked, "He's always naked," and Jungkook exclaimed, "Naked Jimin," before breaking into playful barking alongside the army in the audience, sending the crowd into absolute hysterics. Jungkook. Barking. In solidarity with ARMY, who were also screaming and losing their minds. This is the content. This is why we are here. But wait, we are not done with RM yet, because the man came to the Q&A prepared to roast. RM jokingly called out Jimin for never being on time because he spends too much time on the toilet. Twitter in front of 1,000 people. On camera. For the entire world to see. And Jimin, who had just casually revealed to the entire internet that he walks around his house with no clothes on, sat there and apparently could not even deny it. The crowd lost it all over again. The clip spread across social media within minutes, racking up millions of views, with ARMY writing things like, "RM said I will expose you on camera and I will enjoy it," and "Jimin really said I'm built different both at home and in the bathroom." It was chaos. Beautiful, chaotic, hilarious BTS chaos that we have all missed so desperately. And here is the part that will really get you. Because underneath all the laughter, underneath all the screaming and the jokes and the iconic moments, there was something deeply moving running through the entire evening. RM revealed that Jungkook created the distinctive laugh heard in the track, Hooligan, describing it as both the most fun and most challenging part of the album to record due to its precise rhythm and breath control. A live demo reportedly left Jin, J-Hope, and V laughing uncontrollably, a moment that quickly became a fan favorite online. This is what Arirang is. It is not just music. It is 6 months of 7 men living together in Los Angeles, learning how to be roommates again after years apart, recording together, laughing together, annoying each other about being late and leaving luggage on the floor. RM revealed that the group shared a living space in LA during the recording of Arirang, saying, We lived in different places since 2019, so it's been 7 years. It was so fun living together. SBS star. 7 years of living separately. And then they came back together, made an album, moved into a house, and gave us the most human, warm, laugh-out-loud content we have seen from them in years. And according to Spotify, the album's main track, Swim, ranked #1 on the daily top songs global chart for 3 consecutive days from its release, while Body to Body held the #2 spot over the same period. K-Star lived, the world was ready. ARMY was ready. And BTS delivered everything and more. Arirang recorded nearly 4 million copies sold on its first day. BTS is also preparing to launch a global tour under the same name starting April 9th, with over 80 stadium shows planned. TikTok over 80 stadium shows. That is the scale of what is coming. That is how massive this comeback truly is. And it all started with one rooftop in New York, 1,000 fans, and one Q&A session where Jimin said he's naked at home and the whole world screamed. This is BTS in 2026. Fully reunited, fully themselves, funnier and more emotionally honest than ever, with an album that is already making history and a world tour that is going to remind every single person on this planet exactly why BTS is not just a K-pop group, they are a generational phenomenon. They kept swimming. Through the pandemic, through military service, through years of distance. And they came back, all 7 of them, stood on a rooftop in New York City in the rain, and made ARMY feel like no time had passed at all. If this video made you smile, made you cry, or made you absolutely need to go rewatch that Jimin moment one more time, drop a comment below and tell me your favorite part of the swim side Q&A. Drop purple heart if you are ARMY and drop cat face if the Suga water moment destroyed you. Don't forget to hit that like button, it truly helps this channel more than you know. Subscribe if you haven't already, share this video with every ARMY you know, and I will see you in the next one. Keep swimming, ARMY. Purple heart Anyang.